Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Special presentations tonight. The first one is the swearing in of our new junior council person, Alicia Kremser. And the Madam Mayor will take care of that.
So is a family member joining you?
Yes. Papa?
So tonight we are swearing in Alicia Kremser to be junior council person. So please repeat after me. Did you put your hand?
Sorry.
I, Alicia Kremser,
I, Alicia Kremser,
do solemnly pledge
do solemnly pledge
that I accept the position of Doylestown Borough junior council person.
that I accept the position of Doylestown Borough Junior Council Person.
I promise to attend monthly council meetings,
I promise to attend monthly council meetings,
observe borough council meeting rules,
observe Borough Council meeting rules,
and actively participate in borough business.
and actively participate in borough business.
I understand
I understand
I cannot vote on any issue,
I cannot vote on any issue,
and I cannot attend executive sessions.
and I cannot attend executive sessions.
Congratulations, you're our new junior council person. So you can sign this. Oh, so we'll do. You're a tall family.
And now we have a letter of appreciation, I think, from Laura representing the bike race in Doylestown, which Bucks County Classic. Want to come up? Yeah.
Hello, I'm Laura Reppert. I'm the director of the Bucks County Classic, and I wanted to come here this evening myself to personally thank everyone in Doylestown. We celebrated our 20th anniversary this year, which is a milestone for any event, and it truly would not be possible without the support of the borough over the years, so thank you for that. I also have a letter here from USA Cycling to the borough that I'd like to read, if that's all right. Yes? Okay. Dear Borough Council, on behalf of USA Cycling, I would like to extend our appreciation to the Borough of Doylestown for your invaluable contributions to the cycling community over the past 20 years. Your support of the Bucks County Classic and your ongoing dedication to cycling as a whole have been truly instrumental. As the Bucks County Classic celebrates their 20th anniversary, we commend the vital role the community has played in advancing the sport of cycling. The enthusiasm and commitment you bring to the event have inspired countless cyclists nationwide. Your visionary investment in developing bike-friendly infrastructure, including the creation of trails, bike lanes, and the pump track, have fostered an environment where cycling can thrive. These efforts have made Doylestown a model for other communities, setting a new standard of excellence that resonates far beyond your town's boundaries. Thank you for your commitment to cycling and for being such a vital part of its continued growth. And it's from Eric Bennett, the Director of Membership from USA Cycling. So, present this to you now. And then I also have, I wear all the hats for the race. I get to make all the decisions. I also assign all the bib numbers. I didn't assign number 20 this year because I felt like it should be saved. So here is number 20 mounted for the borough. And some of the cyclists have wrote messages to the borough thanking them for
That's
hosting
really
the race
neat.
for 20 years as well.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful, that's great.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, she was like an assistant too. While we're getting thanks, I think on behalf of staff, I know everyone here agrees that we'd like to thank Laura. She's an absolute pleasure to work with, does a phenomenal job. Makes our jobs a lot easier. So right back at you.
Yeah, thank you, Laura.
Next item on our agenda is the approval of minutes from our August 19th, 2024 council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve them?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Mayor, do you have a report for us tonight?
Yes, I do. Our annual Doylestown Arts Festival on the 7th and 8th was successful this year. There was concern over the rain at first, but the impact was temporary, and vendors reported that they have exceeded sales from last year. Discover Doylestown's next event is Spooktacular on Saturday, October 26th. Now, tonight I have two fun things that I'd like to share with you. First, and as you heard, the Bucks County Classic held its 20th event in Doylestown on September 8th. The evening before, there was a celebratory dinner at the firehouse. And during that dinner, it rained slightly, which resulted in a double rainbow over the courthouse. So on the next day, when your mayor started the races with an introduction, I broadly thanked everyone who made the race possible, and then went on to say that to show the borough's appreciation for 20 years of races, we had arranged for double rainbow to be over the start and finish line of the race. And then second is on September 3rd, I received a message from last year's junior council member, Jack Swartley, who wrote, "I have made great new friends and found a community where I feel at home. I think you'll be happy to hear that I was just sworn in as a senator on the Ohio State undergraduate student government, with my first meeting scheduled for tomorrow night. I know my experience on Doylestown Borough Council will help me serve in my new position. Thank you for the example and expertise on how to serve and lead diligently." And that was the end of his note. It is nice to know that beyond governance, ordinances, and resolutions, council can have an effect that lasts a lifetime. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Public Safety, Mr. Frederick is not here tonight, but I believe Mr. Brown is going to step in and cover for him.
Yeah, that's correct, Mr. President. On the agenda tonight, we have a parking resolution. Council's Public Safety Committee met on September 4th, 2024 to consider creation of a no parking zone on the south side of Atkinson Drive, east of its intersection with Broad Street. This parking restriction was contemplated as part of the road improvements and bike lane being installed with the development at 333 North Broad Street. Vehicles parked in this area impede use of bike and vehicles lanes. The Public Safety Committee is recommending that Council authorize the advertising of the attached ordinance creating a no parking zone on the south side of Atkinson Drive for a distance of 840 feet east from its intersection with Broad Street. A copy of the ordinance and location map are attached. If Council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Seeing none or hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The fire company report is attached. They had 38 incidents for the month of August. And I would also like to note that congratulations to Chief Chuck Presler of the Central Bucks EMS for 20 years of service as their chief. Was celebrated this week. And also our next preparedness seminar is September 23rd at 6:30 right here. So that's next Monday night. And the fire company will be having their Fire Prevention Expo on October 12th at 1 o'clock at CB West. That's it for public safety.
I think we also have the consideration of Central Bucks Regional Police preliminary budget.
It's not in my packet, that's why. I missed that. Sorry. I got it. No, I had it. Yeah, there was nothing in my, there was nothing to read in the packet.
I'm looking at it right here.
No, I didn't see
Yeah,
it.
hang on a sec.
Like a paper copy, Larry?
I got it. Sorry about that. I missed that one. Okay, sorry about that. Attached, please find the above referenced budget forwarded by Central Bucks Regional Police Commission and transmitted to the borough by September 1st in accordance with the terms of the intermunicipal agreement. The budget is still a work in progress, relying on multiple assumptions, particularly with regard to health, workers' compensation, property and liability insurance premiums. The budget was reviewed by the Public Safety Committee at their September 4th meeting and is recommending that Borough Council reject the first draft budget, an action that is anticipated by the Police Commission. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That should,
I think that's it.
yeah,
Public safety.
just double checking my work.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Brown, you're up again, Public Works.
I know that. Okay. So for Public Works, let me see. The first item we have is the Font Hill construction, the PCS improvements and bid award. Bids were received and opened for the Font Hill post-construction stormwater management project on August 26, 2024. 2 bids were received and a copy of the bid tabulation is attached. The low bidder is Land Tech Enterprise Incorporated of Warrington, Pennsylvania, at a price of $537,793.00. Public Works and Administration Committee has reviewed the bid and is recommending that it be awarded to Land Tech Enterprises Incorporated in the amount of $537,793, conditioned upon the receipt of a properly executed performance bond and compliance with bid specifications. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Just to note that we did budget $600,000 for this project, including engineering, and we do anticipate that we'll come in under budget.
And this is also a ARPA, right?
Yes, these are ARPA funds. We'll pay for this project in its entirety, and it will bring us into compliance with our National Pollution Discharge Elimination System and get us in back in the good graces of the Department of Environmental Protection.
Very good. The second item is the 2024-2025 rock salt bids. So as the days get shorter, we have to worry about rock salt. Bids were opened and publicly read for the purchase of rock salt for the 2024-2025 season on Wednesday, August 14th. Below is you can see the tabulation of the bids right up there on the screen and in your packets. If council wishes to award the bid to the low bidder, Morton Salt, it can do so by making a motion to award the bid at a price of $60.95 per ton delivered, $60 per ton undelivered, conditioned upon receipt of a properly executed performance bond and compliance with the bid specifications. Riverside Construction Materials Incorporated held the contract for 2023-24 at $66 delivered and $65.85 undelivered. And I move that we approve this bid for Morton Salt at the specified price.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And before I pass over the Public Works report, I just wanted to give a shout out to the Public Works team as well for all of their very hard and diligent work around the Arts Fest and the bike race, and also that the leaf pickup flyers have gone out, and leaf pickup will be starting on October 14th. John, if you have anything or no?
Just to note, we finished our road paving program for the year a couple of weeks ago, and we do anticipate any missing pavement markings being restored on Wednesday and Thursday. So you have a favorite crosswalk that suddenly went missing? It's going to be repainted, including, we've got a lot of comments about the one in front of the old courthouse. So that'll all be going back Wednesday and Thursday. And we've just started work on the 2025 road schedule. So if anyone has any suggestions for that schedule, please let us know.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. President. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Mr. Bell isn't here tonight. My understanding is the Community and Government Affairs did not meet this month, but I don't know if...
No, we met, but had nothing actionable.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I'll take that as a no report. Zoning and Planning, Ms. Jarrett, what do you have for us tonight?
I, first of all, would like to thank my colleagues for covering that meeting for me. I was out of town, but first we have the Building and Zoning, the Zoning Hearing Board report. The Zoning Hearing Board will be holding a public meeting beginning at 7 p.m. on Thursday, September 19th, 2024, here in Borough Hall. Ms. Highland, do you want to walk through that for us?
Absolutely, thank you. The first hearing on their agenda is for 328 Avenue A. The applicant is requesting relief to allow for an in-law suite attached to their home. And the second application is for 300 Green Street. The applicant is requesting dimensional relief to allow a pool at 28.5 feet from the front property line as opposed to the required 35 feet.
Thank you.
That's it.
And next up, we have the HARB report. Sorry, just getting that up here. During its monthly meeting, the Borough of Doylestown Historic and Architectural Review Board recommended the following: a site application for 5 South Main Street. The HARB recommended that the application be approved for a certificate of appropriateness as submitted and presented. The building applications begin with 47 West Ashland Street for windows. The HARB recommended denial of the application for a certificate of appropriateness for replacing the roof with architectural timberline shingles and removal of metal elements, gutters, and downspouts. The recommendation was documented and provided to the applicant in accordance with the applicable ordinance requirements. Next was 137 Lafayette Street, garage and exterior renovations. The HARB recommended that the application for a certificate of appropriateness be approved as submitted and presented, with exterior lights being replaced in kind or with cylinder up and down lights as in the light over the new garage. Next was the 184 East State Street for a roof. The HARB recommended that the application be approved for a certificate of appropriateness as amended. The mansard roof shingles are changed to a smaller, non-shadowed shingle in a similar color. A fish scale or diamond-shaped slate would also be acceptable. Next is 154 West Oakland Avenue, renovation and addition. The HARB recommended that the application be approved for a certificate of appropriateness with the following recommendations. The applicant shall return with a color palette, and the finial on the conservatory will be as shown on the plans. The Zoning and Planning Committee recommends that council approve the applications in accordance with the HARB's recommendation. Council can follow the committee's recommendation by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
In addition to the HARB and the Zoning Hearing Board, we have the building inspection report, which is in the packet. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Jarrett. Environment and Rec, Ms. White.
Yes, I do, thank you. Pennsylvania's Borough Code allows boroughs to, quote, "either singly or jointly manufacture or purchase electricity for the use of its inhabitants," end quote. The boroughs of Hatboro, Lansdowne, Media, Narberth, State College, Carlisle, and Swarthmore all recently petitioned the PUC for a declaratory order to confirm the formation of a community choice aggregation, known as a CCA, to confirm that it is consistent with the Borough Code. CCA programs allow local governments to procure power on behalf of their residents, businesses, and municipal accounts from an alternative supplier while still receiving transmission and distribution service from their existing utility provider. The CCAs to be formed would call for the boroughs to work with a private entity who would act as a broker to negotiate pricing and the desired composition of energy sources. In addition, it would allow this company to manage resident building and other routine administrative matters. The attached letter of support was prepared by CCA for PA, the working group created to develop the petition and establish the CCAs, and expresses support for the municipalities. The Environment and Recreation Committee recommends council authorize borough staff to send the attached letter to the PUC. If council is in agreement, it may do so by motion, and I so move.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Yes, sir. Could you step up to the microphone and identify yourself?
Hello, my name is Stephen McConnell. I live in Old Dublin Pike. I met Mr. O'Brien one day when I was standing outside of the poll at the midterms. On the CCA, I'm currently serviced by PECO. I'm quite happy with PECO. If this were to pass, would I still retain my PECO as it stands and at the same price?
The action being taken tonight doesn't change anything with regard to the borough provision of electric service. What council...
I'm sorry. Okay.
What council is considering is a letter to the PUC to support the petition, which would potentially give municipalities the right to consider taking that action. They're not.
Correct.
We
and
are not.
If they considered it and did it, then would it change? In other words, are they negotiating on behalf of all of the residents?
If a CCA were to be created by the borough, and if the decision of the PUC did allow it, it would still allow you to retain.
So I could opt out.
You could opt out.
Okay, that was the question. Sorry, long way of getting there.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Laverne, Water Utility.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I do have one actionable item for council. In your packet to council and mayor from the borough manager, we have the memo that tells us about resolution number 2024-6, authorizing the submission of a Penvest financial assistance application. And I'll read that memo. Attached, please find the above referenced resolution along with a required letter of responsibility and the application itself. The proposed project includes the installation and operation of a granular activated carbon PFAS treatment system in the borough's systems at the borough's wells number 9, 10, and 12 at an estimated cost of $6 million. The Water Utility Committee is recommending the adoption of resolution number 2024-6 and approval of the letter of responsibility. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions or comments for any members of council?
Yeah, Mr. President, I'd just like to point out this relates to legacy chemicals that are present in water systems throughout the Commonwealth, and actually throughout the nation. And the application itself and the the documentation for that represents that the system that the borough here is requesting is an appropriate one based upon engineering and technical requirements. There are various types of systems. This granulated activated charcoal system is a cost-effective system for the borough. There's a different system, a reverse osmosis treatment system, and an ion exchange resin treatment system, both of which are alternatives, but the granulated activated charcoal system is one that we believe is cost-effective. And I just wanted to put that on the record. You know, what we're trying to do here is alleviate, to the extent that we're able to do that through technology, the effects of PFAS and PFOS on the water systems here. And this is, I think, a reasonable and very appropriate approach for that purpose.
Thank you. Any other comments from any members of council?
Just to clarify that the borough's water system is currently in compliance with DEP limits on PFAS and PFAS. This action's being taken in anticipation being out of compliance when the new, much stricter federal standard is applied and adopted by the Commonwealth. So as of today, we are in compliance. This is the first opportunity we've had to seek a grant application, which heretofore has been limited only to municipalities and water systems that are already in out of compliance with the state standard. So we hopefully are going to get in as close to the front of the line as we can. And that's why we're taking this action tonight.
Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Laverne.
Thank you.
Ms. Popkin, Finance and Pension, have a few things for us?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Mr. President. Finance and Pension did meet, and I just want to note that we did not have a quorum at our meeting. The first item is the disclosure of 2025 minimum municipal obligation to the non-uniform pension plan. And Act 205 of 1984, as amended, governs the funding requirements of all municipal pension plans. The law requires that the chief administrative officer of each municipal pension plan is to inform the governing body of the municipality of the plan's expected financial obligation for the coming year, which would be 2025. This must be done by the last day in September. This memo is intended to satisfy the legal requirements of Act 205. The calculation for the 2025 plan cost, or the minimum municipality obligation, MMO, is required an estimate of the 2024 W-2 wages of the employees covered by our plan. I have indicated on the attached worksheets my estimates for the plan costs. Questions on our non-uniform pension costs can be addressed to either myself or the staff of Girard Pension Services, or to Ms. Brinker, who is our finance director. Please understand the MMO is the municipality's 2025 bill for the pension plan. The calculated obligation must be paid by December 31st, 2025. The obligation must be met with general fund monies or any general state aid to the municipality pensions, in which we may be entitled to under the Act 205. So our projected 2025 non-uniform pension obligation for this, for next year is $386,224. Should you have any questions on the MMO, please feel free to contact either myself or the above agency listed. And we don't have an action on this. And then the next item is the Verizon Cable franchise renewal. And we discussed this during the meeting and reviewed it. Even though there was not a quorum, we are recommending it. This is in 2025, the borough's current cable franchise agreement with Verizon is set to expire. As with the previous franchise agreement negotiations in 2016, the Bucks County Consortium of Municipalities is proposing a joint negotiation to produce a single franchise renewal agreement for consideration by all municipalities choosing to participate in this. The consortium has solicited a proposal from the Cohen Law Group of Pittsburgh, PA, and you'll see a copy attached in your packet, to provide consulting services to the participating municipalities during the negotiations. In addition to the franchise renewal negotiations, the scope of services includes a franchise fee audit to determine whether Verizon has paid each municipality all of the franchise fee revenue to which it was entitled. 12 to 16 municipalities are anticipated to participate in the joint negotiations, with the borough's share amounting to $8,075, and that would be over 4 years, correct? Ms. Brinker, wasn't it?
The payment?
But the payment wasn't $8,000 over 4 years?
There's a third is due upon signing,
Or-
a third.
And then a third and a third?
Yes.
Okay. There was not a quorum present at our September 12th, 2024 meeting. However, the members present are recommending that council authorize participation in this Verizon Cable franchise renewal consortium at a cost of $8,075. If council wishes to authorize this participation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And then the last item is the finance report, which is in the packet, and I'll turn that over to Ms. Brinker.
Thank you, Ms. Popkin. The prepaid bills, accounts payable, and payroll totaled $1,100,641.
And I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Personnel Committee, I do not have a report tonight. Professionals report. Mr. Doherty, you have anything for us?
Thank you. I have nothing tonight.
Okay. Solicitors report. You have anything for us?
No report this evening. Thank you.
Chief, do you have anything for us?
No report this evening.
Thank you. I do not have a president's report tonight. However, I would like to comment on the crowds we saw, excuse me, at the Arts Fest this weekend. I think it was one of the biggest crowds I can remember in quite a while. It was very, even with the rain on Saturday, I think that just brought more people out on Sunday. So it was kudos to everybody who had a part in putting that together. Do we have any old business items? Hearing none. Any items of new business?
Yes, Mr. President, I have a new business item. I just wanted to give a quick update on what's happening with the DART. Mayor West and I both sit on the DART committee, the regional DART committee. And I was in attendance at the last Friday, the 13th, every other month meeting of the DART. And things are going well. And one of the exciting things about trying to keep the ridership up, which it is up over the last 6 months, is that Doylestown Township is producing a video that's going to run far and wide to residents in the area to try and get even more ridership for the DART. So that was probably the main exciting news. The DART group, the Bucks County Transport, was asked to look at the possibility of extending the what's now called DART South, which serves Warrington Township, possibly into parts of Warminster. So the DART continues to operate well and is potentially going to be growing again. We just added Warrington about a year ago. So, Madam Mayor, I just wanted to bring you up to speed since you were not able to attend, and as well as informing council. And that's the end of that report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Laverne.
Thank you.
Do we have anybody signed up for open public?
We do. We have two. First, we have Mr. Stephen McConnell, who I think we've met, from Old Dublin Pike.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for seeing me. I've lived in town for 4 years now. I walk for exercise and to try and stay in shape with some success, not a lot. But over the last 4 years, I've noticed a lot of changes. I walk at night sometimes. I work during the day, and I tend to walk after dinner or an hour or two later. And I've been running into more strange people and the like. And I thought about it, and I've spoken to the other guys who walk a lot, and we've noticed that there are for a while, there were certain spots where homeless guys would aggregate. And I don't mind particularly poor homeless guys, but a lot of them might well have been folks who were coming across the border illegally. And so I Googled Bucks County, and I understand that we are a sanctuary county. I don't know if that's true or not, because there was some dispute. But if that is true, has anyone looked at the cost to the county in terms of extra services required and possible safety issues? That's it.
I'm not sure we're in a position to be able to assess what the cost to the county would be. That may be something you would want to bring up.
No, the county did it, but all the charges are, I'm asking not the county's charges. Because of the county's laws, we have people here, if you go to the CVS down by the railroad station, you find they're locking more things up and things of that ilk, with obviously an eye toward shrinkage or theft. And my argument is, by the way, I've always had good success talking to all the policemen. They're all wonderful and good guys and working hard. That's not the issue. I'm saying, is the borough of Doylestown getting any incremental charges which can be laid at the feet of having a number of undocumented aliens in the borough?
I'm not aware of any, but I don't know if
Nobody else has asked?
you track that. I haven't heard anybody ask that question.
I'm not aware of any charges we've incurred because of the county's
Well,
position.
I guess the
I'm not even
school,
sure the county is.
surely the school board would not necessarily be part of this body.
Right.
But there would be a number of children coming in, and no other charges on services that the borough provides from extra people coming in. That was the issue. I don't expect everybody to have it on the top of their head. It was just an issue to raise. And, just getting different. It used to be I never saw anybody that I worried about. And during the summer, I had to walk a couple home because there were some guys hiding in the bushes at the park right down here. Now, I'm not a big guy. I'm old as hell. And so consequently, I'm not very threatening. But these people were afraid to walk past them. And when we walked past, they ran away. And so consequently, I can't be the only guy who's seeing that. And I know that the police are doing the best job they can, and I think very highly of them. So this isn't a criticism of them. I was just wondering, and obviously nobody else has raised it. So let me raise it. If it's something that comes up, maybe somebody will take a look at it, but that was it. That was the whole thing.
Okay, thank you very much.
I know you're welcome.
Next, we have,
Is that Laura Hopwood?
oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Trying to read. Oh, it's Holly Hopwood, I'm sorry. Just trying to read your first name. Sorry, Lily.
That's okay. I think I wrote my full name, Larissa.
Larissa, that's, I had a hard time reading that.
So I'm here talking about what's been going on at the farmers markets. There's been a lot of activity there, specifically. So I'm kind of on both sides. I live right across the street from there. So as a citizen, I definitely have been seeing a lot about what's going on as far as the demonstrations that have been happening. But I've also tabled out there as part of the Doylestown Democrats. The Doylestown Democrats have been very peaceful, very quiet, and very respectful. As far as the other side, there's been a lot of flag waving, a lot of hollering, a lot of aggression. On the other side, we've had some people who are Proud Boys, which, as we know, is considered a terrorist group, unfortunately, so who have been in our town. So I just wanted to address it, just to see if Borough Council has had any thoughts about different ways that we might be able to address the situation. It's something that, as a citizen of Doylestown for about 25 years, I've also been hearing things from different business owners as well who have been concerned about how it's affecting our town. And so we just want to bring it up to Borough Council and see if there's anything that can be done.
Well, thank you. I don't know, we have had some conversation about what can be done at it, and basically it comes down to it's a First Amendment, right, free speech. And Chief, I know you've looked into it a little bit for us.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for coming in tonight and getting up in front of a full room to speak. Since I did a little bit of research, since April 20th, the police department has been out there 23 times, but not all bad. 3 of them have parking when the farmer's market sets up. A lot of times the cars are parked there overnight. We clear them out so everybody can get up and get started. 12 times we were out there, there were no issues. Probably because we were standing there on the corner, right? It's just like speeding. When the police car's there, nobody speeds. Yeah. So you have to just take that with a grain of salt. But 7 times we were actually called there from people that were attending or the staff of the farmer's market. And I mean, I have all the reports here in front of me. It really is both sides, back and forth. It gets a little anxious sometimes when you're trying to represent your side of the aisle. We try to do our best to stay neutral and to keep the peace. Right now, we have a officer assigned there. You'll probably see him or her just about during the whole 7 to 1 that the farmer's market is there. It's a shame because it's a valuable resource that we can't use somewhere else in the 3 boroughs that we are responsible for. But we are out there, and we do feel your pain with some of the, I'll say craziness that goes on with the things that are shouted, finger pointing, sign waving. When a certain party comes down the middle of the farmer's market with a huge flag, that doesn't help, foster a nice, relaxing, friendly farmer's market. So, but having said all that, we have to be really careful about First Amendment and people's right to exercise that, as long as they're not blocking traffic, which they're not because the road is closed for the farmer's market. So it's really a slippery slope with some of the stuff there. But we are there, we're active, we're watching, and we're not quite out of this political cycle yet. So we're there for you. I will tell you that the mayor, myself, and Mr. Davis, we met with management from Farmers Market, and I will tell you the same thing. It's an old saying, but if you see something, say something, call us right away. It's more important to do that than to report, let's say, to the mayor or the manager, and I get it, Tuesday or Wednesday, when if you just make a simple phone call, we can act right away and try to quell anything that you see going on. Please tell your neighbors that as well.
Sure, and we call the
call 911.
The 911.
Yeah, please. That's the easiest, fastest, most direct way to get a hold of us. Dispatch will log it in, and we have a record of the call. And the most important thing is they will find the closest police car to send, and then we can take care of whatever's going on. Okay. Thank you so much. Did you sign him, ma'am?
I came a little late. I didn't know how to sign in. This is my first meeting.
Come up to the microphone and tell us your name and where you live, please.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Catherine Good-Semish. I live on Green Street. I have lived in the Doylestown area for 38 years. I've been at the farmer's market. I have stood, there's the corner of where the market is. right by the florist shop there. There are people that I've been told they are from out of town, and they have a speaker and they play political speeches, really ugly ones, very, very loudly. I understand the freedom of speech. I am an American. I stand for it. But what I would like you to consider, please, is that one group is exercising their freedom of speech at the sufferance of the silence of the other group. So if we have dueling speakers and dueling arguments, the farmers market becomes undoable, and freedom of speech at some point falls over into disturbance of the peace. And I am not a lawyer and I am not a policeman, but I have stood there and heard it's unpleasant, it's loud, it cannot be ignored. And it is really antagonizing to people who would like to go and buy some lettuce. So I ask you to please, I cannot tell you how strong, I would rather see the farmer's market turned into a political shout fest than to violate the First Amendment, because that's more important, even than our farmers, who are also crucially important. But what I'm seeing, I don't think, well, I'm sorry, I didn't prepare my remarks, but I think you can see what I'm saying is that it's only because one side is not blaring speeches from a boombox that the other side is allowed to keep going. And where does freedom of speech leave off and the disturbance of the peace begin? So I just ask you to consider that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Any other? Hearing none, I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Would you like a picture of your family?
No.